Power costs are one of the biggest expenses for retailers, and many are paying more than they need to. In this episode, we're going to speak with Reliance Utilities about what's happening in the power sector and how they can help retailers find better energy deals, audit bills, and remove the hassle from managing your power. If you want practical ways to reduce costs and protect your margins, this is a conversation worth listening to. Kia ora, I'm Carolyn Young, Chief Executive of Retail NZ. Today I'm speaking with Dimitri Gafiatulin, who's the Chief Executive at Reliance Utilities. Welcome, Dimitri.
Hi, Carolyn. Thanks for having me.
Really great to have you here. And power is one of those things that we all have to have in our businesses. And power prices are under increasing pressure in New Zealand. Can you just give us a quick rundown of, what is it that's currently happening in the industry and the sector, just so retailers have got a broad understanding?
Yeah, well, as we all know, power prices are going up and always are going up. Most have emailed their consumers that the prices are going up yet again on the 1st of April this year too. So it's quite a normal occurrence, for the power providers to increase prices in the beginning of each financial year. Now, overall, the issue is there is not enough supply of power in winter. So summer is usually okay. So right now we are fine. There's plenty of power, but in winter, especially when you have dry winter, power becomes a bit of an issue because 60% of New Zealand power is generated using hydro, and when the lakes are low, their supply is low, and that's what drives prices up. And then, of course, that trickles down to consumers. Power prices are quite high for power companies to buy power in winter before they retail it to consumers. And the prices, that higher prices in winter usually trickle down to end consumer also. There is a stockpile of coal in Huntly now, which means that we will have there's certainty of supply. So we won't go without power in winter, which is great. But coal and gas is one of the most expensive ways of generating power. So even though we'll most certainly have power in winter, but the prices, if we have a dry winter, the price will be quite high.
So Dimitri, does that mean that if we have a dry winter, we might see a spike in pricing, but would it come back? Would we see it drop back after we get through those pressured winter months?
Yeah, so usually the way it works is whenever there's a spike in pricing in winter, it doesn't necessarily affect consumers right away. So that price mainly affects power companies, what they pay for power. Now, if it's a couple of months, usually it's not a problem. It's expected and it doesn't really affect retail price all that much. Now, if it lasts longer than few months, then it becomes a problem and the price trickles down to the end consumer. Now, between 2018 and until today, we had a few energy problems as far as prices for the power companies to buy power on ASX. And within those 8 years, there were about 25 independent power companies had to shut their doors because they just couldn't afford buying power before they sell it to consumers.
And so today in Wellington, it's a miserable grey day and lots of rain. What we really want to make sure is that the rain's falling where the lakes are, right? So we've
Yeah.
got to have the rain in the right spots, I guess is important.
Yes. Yes. So usually, as a general principle, bad weather is great for power. So lakes fill up, prices become low because hydro is the cheapest way of generating power. So when it rains, yes, it's not that great to go outside, but as far as power prices are concerned, it's phenomenal.
Look, I was talking to a retailer at the weekend, and one of the things they said to me was that in retail, it's all about absorbing costs. You're always absorbing price increases from various places. At Reliance Utilities, what can you do to help retailers pay less for their power?
Yeah, so essentially, we are a group buy business. Now, we have thousands of clients, and because of the sheer number of clients we have, we tend to get better pricing offered by providers than what the same providers would offer to their consumers. And essentially, because of the number of clients we have, we get a better rate. So that means that the power bills for the end consumer will be lower. Because why I like this industry is very black and white. It's not an opinion thing. So when we find a cheaper rate per kilowatt hour, the bill will be cheaper. It's just maths,
Yeah. So it's just like a buying group effectively
Yeah.
for power is what you're doing.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
exactly what we're doing. And we've been doing it for the last 12 years. We are the largest now energy broker in New Zealand. We have thousands of clients, and thousands of clients benefited from being part of us.
Amazing. And look, tell us a little bit about why Retail NZ members should review their power bills with Reliance Utilities, and how would they go about doing that?
The first first principle to remember is loyalty is not rewarded in the energy industry, unfortunately. So you do want to swap and change frequently. Now, and this is exactly what we help customers do. The way to do it, you just go on our website, relianceutilities.co.nz/retailnz, submit your power bill, and we'll get back to you within a few days with an offer.
Amazing. That's easily the most simple
Yeah.
thing I've ever heard. And the reason that you want a copy of the power bill is so you can understand the volume that is going through that business, so you can therefore negotiate a good rate. Is that right?
Exactly. And also with the power bill, we are able to provide a proposal. We can actually
Yeah,
provide a power comparison. This is what you're paying. This is what you could be paying. That's
great.
where power bill comes handy.
Amazing. Look, thank you so much for joining us today, Dimitri. It's been such a pleasure to speak to you and hear how Reliance Utilities are supporting retailers to reduce their power bills. We're so pleased that you've come on board as a partner at Retail NZ, because we know that reducing costs for retailers is critically important in those core areas.
Thank you for having me.
Look, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, and don't forget to visit www.relianceutilities.co.nz/retailnz to find out more. This was part of our Empowering Retail series, your go-to resource for short, actionable insights to take your retail business to the next level. Watch out for other episodes and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, ka kite anō. Bye for now.